Hey everybody, Fran here again. I keep messing this song up, but I'm going to do it right now. Anyway, I wanted to bring my beautiful, lovely, hippie wife. She's taking these vegetables and peeling them off. What is that? Stop it. Yamate. Tomate, excuse me.
No,
Yamate. That means quit. And getting all the snails and the worms out of the organic vegetables. Can you believe the hippies with a punk? Anyway, here we go.
A mediados de abril del 2021, tras 2 meses sin noticias de Fran, le escribí a su mujer Yawei transmitiéndole mi preocupación. Ella me devolvió una larga y dolorosa respuesta donde me contaba que Fran no estaba nada bien. En los últimos meses, una enfermedad ya diagnosticada había reaparecido y en muy poco tiempo había deteriorado progresivamente su salud. Nos vamos a Nueva York para levantarle un poco el ánimo, me dijo la mujer. Y en mayo, Fran, Yawei y su hija Minga viajaron a los Estados Unidos. Apenas llegaron, Fran debió ser internado de inmediato en el hospital. Su situación se agravó con el correr de los días. El lunes 28 de junio de 2021, el punk que escribió Modern Clix en aquella pared, el tipo que me dio su amistad el día del cumpleaños de Charlie García, mi amigo, Fran Powers, murió a la temprana edad de 60 años, llevándose con él mi último sueño rockero.
Pop Secret presenta los superpoderes de Modern Clix. Parte 5. Jesús en Internet. El último lunes de junio de 2021, familiares y decenas de amigos, muchos de ellos del ambiente del hardcore neoyorquino, expresaron su dolor en el muro del artista. Iñaki publicó un obituario llamado Sobre los poderes de Fran, donde revelaba la conexión Powers-García. Cenizas de Fran fueron esparcidas en el East River, a metros del estadio de los Mets, su equipo de béisbol. Y también en Okinawa se realizaron ceremonias en su nombre.
Cuando le conté a Joey que quería compartir con la gente mi historia vivida con Fran, pero no ahora como novela, sino más en formato audiovisual, Joey me dijo: tengo 2 remeras de Fran, 2 remeras negras de su banda Little Old Ladies, de las que usaba para tocar en vivo. Una es para mí, la otra es para vos. Hay una sin mangas y la otra con mangas. ¿Cuál querés? En enero de este 2023, después de haber publicado los 4 primeros capítulos de esta serie, hicimos una videollamada con Joey.
Finally. Hold on, let you up a little bit. Okay.
Okay, how have you been?
I've been good. We have a dog.
Yeah, Bubkus.
Bupkis, yeah. Where did he go? Oh, he's sleeping there.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I walk him every morning and every night.
Cool.
And, it's good. It's a good exercise for me.
Okay.
Imagínense, primera semana de 2023. Yo todavía estaba cantando Quiero ganar la tercera, quiero ser campeón mundial. Así que no pude evitar comentarle que yo sabía que íbamos a salir campeones porque la final la jugábamos un día 18 y el cumpleaños de Fran caía en día 18. Elijo creer.
Oh!
Yeah.
Thank you. That's right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Lovely.
I was very happy too.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Lovely pictures.
Yeah.
You sent lovely pictures.
Yeah.
First.
And you've been doing a good job. You've been doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Great job. Yes.
Okay. It's a pleasure. Please. It's all for you, Joey. It's all for you. All this work.
Impressive. Very impressive.
Gracias a Joey, que me pasó prácticamente toda la discografía de Fran, pude conocer más íntegramente la obra de mi amigo. Así que los invito a salir
de paseo con Fran Powers.
Vamos a Brooklyn, el lugar donde Fran nació el 18 de agosto de 1960. Les cuento que fue el mayor de sus hermanos y el único que salió músico. Pero yo quiero contarles una historia basada en hechos reales acontecidos en su familia. Nosotros nos hemos tomado el atrevimiento de hacer una libre adaptación del suceso que habría sido algo así.
1965. Verano en Brooklyn.
Una mañana, mientras la madre de Fran estaba con sus quehaceres hogareños, como era atender a sus hijos Fran, Katy, Robert y la pequeña Kelly de apenas 5 meses, entró su hermana menor y le dijo:
Katy, dice mamá que vos me vas a acompañar a ver a los Beatles.
A ver, los ubico. Dentro de unos días, los 4 de Liverpool se van a presentar en el estadio de los Mets de Nueva York, que está a 20 minutos en coche, y todos los chicos del barrio ya tienen su entrada.
¿Que yo qué?
Que me vas a acompañar a ver a los Beatles.
Yo no voy a acompañarte a ver a los Beatles en un estadio. ¿Vos te crees que voy a dejar a mis hijos acá solos con mi marido?
Dale, por favor, te lo
Yo
pido.
no voy a ir, no. Ustedes no pueden decidir por
Dale,
mí.
no te pido nunca nada. Y la vez que te pido algo,
Perdóname, no voy a ir.
anda y decíselo a mamá entonces.
Ya salió la madre de Fran disparada a la casa de su madre, que vivía a una cuadra ahí, eran vecinas. Y cuando cruzó la puerta...
Mamá, ¿cómo es eso que tengo
Katy, vos vas a acompañar a tu hermana a ver a los Beatles.
¿Qué?
Te guste o no te
Pero-
guste. Y se acabó.
Mi mamá vio a los Beatles en el Shea Stadium porque mi abuela le dijo que llevara a mi tía. Fran Powers.
His mom told me he really liked Queen. Yeah, he was a big fan when he was in high school or something. He was a big fan of Queen. And then he was into, rock and roll and then hardcore. And then he met British punk and he was totally into that punk style.
Esa fue Ultraviolence, la primera banda hardcore donde Fran tocó el bajo por allá a finales de los años 80, cuando la historia con Modern Clix llegó a su fin. Nunca les conté sobre los Modern Clix. Tanto nombre que tiene esta serie y nunca hablamos de la banda. Ok, aquí vamos. Este era su logo, que Fran replicó por cuanta superficie de la ciudad tuvo a mano. Bueno, les cuento. Año 1981, aparentemente. Fran y Madonna compartían un departamento en la zona sur de Manhattan. En esos días aparecieron por el barrio 3 flacos que venían de Trinidad y Tobago con ganas de fusionar sus raíces con la música de la ciudad. Ahí entonces Fran se colgó la guitarra, Madonna se colgó el bajo y así nació Modern Clix. En la banda del Lower East Side, Fran sentó las bases del prolífico songwriter que iba a ser toda la vida, incluso en la era de los smartphones, porque nunca dejó de componer, nunca dejó de escribir.
All the time. He was making music, he was writing lyrics, even on napkins, at the restaurants. And whenever we have conversation, if I do something interesting, he said, hold on, and he had to write it down. He really is creating every moment.
Una tarde de una fecha perdida en la noche de los tiempos, tal vez de 1981 o 1982, Fran y Madonna salieron a caminar por el barrio y enfilaron hacia el sur, en dirección al barrio chino. Él iba con aerosoles y stencils. Y en la esquina de Walker y Cortlandt escribió el graffiti que empezó toda esta historia. Por cierto, no saben la historia que se generó con esta esquina después de estrenar la parte 4.
Lo siento, esta información será brindada más adelante.
Les recuerdo que promediaba la década de Reagan. Eran los tiempos del crack, justo cuando los Modern Clix aparecían con buenas críticas entre las reseñas de revistas como Spin y Rolling Stone, pero la cagaron. Fran me contó textualmente: demasiadas drogas mataron a la banda. 3 de los chicos fumaban crack. Fue demasiado para mí. Estábamos a punto de conseguirlo, pero lo estropearon. Salimos en la revista Rolling Stone, pero ya no valía la pena. Una época muy triste. Con las mismas canciones, pero con nuevos integrantes, Fran y Madonna siguieron al frente de la banda que mutó de Modern Clix a Whole Wide World. Pero los tiempos cambiaron y ellos también. La historia fue dura con los Modern Clix, pero al menos quedaron algunas canciones de ellos para escuchar en Reverb Nation. Después vinieron los tiempos de ultraviolence, como les contaba antes, que con ciertas intermitencias siguieron activos hasta la segunda década del nuevo milenio.
Hardcore punk music was his vehicle of expression and transformation. But at some point in his life, Fran discovered his Irish roots and had, dare I say, a musical renaissance. With box of crayons, Fran composed many typical Irish folk songs.
Oh, you don't have to wait until the 17th. So here is some advice I have for you. Just sit back in that chair and I will show you how you can have a bit of Irish in you now. In America, you see if you're of Irish descent, you go to Grandma Sunday afternoon. She'll fill you up with cabbage, corned beef and a bow. Thank God you got some Irish in you now.
Yes, there are many songs that he created, very Irish, sound so familiar that even Irish people would think they existed from long time ago. He was very happy when that happens, you know.
Thank God you got some Irish in you now. Made old by sons dying. Even in America there are people crying. We sit and watch the news, getting mildly plastered. We're always saddened by watching poor bastard. But I'm just a poor bastard too. And guess what? So are you. It started in a tavern, like it often does. Between the poet and flowing, arguments lost and won. Sammy came up with a good one. It steadily gained ground, and a good idea gets better when you pass it all around. I'm a Mets fan, that's what I am. I'm a Mets fan, that's what I am. I'm a Mets fan, that's what I am. I'm a Mets fan, that's what I am.
I met Fran in the second half of 1980s. Actually, my daughter's Sam was in the band. Sam was the drummer. So one day, Sam took me to Fran's house. I remember many other friends were there. You know, Fran was there and his friends were there. They were having good time, drinking, smoking, whatever. I remember that I met Madonna and Eamon, you know, his first kid. Fran was very nice to me. He was like, oh, have a seat. You want something to drink, you know. It was very nice. I was in a relationship with Sam and he had his wife. So we just met and we were like, you know, we were friends. But Fran told me later, he thought that where did this guy, Sam, find a girl like me.
Wow.
Where did he find a girl like Shoei?
Wow.
He said he was a little jealous somehow, but of course he's a very honest man. He had a wife, but he said he did love me from the first sight.
Some of us stand at the back of the bus. Oh, Jesus, I'm tired.
After so many years, Sam and I moved back to Japan. We had a baby, and we also started to build a studio, recording studio. I started Japan Overseas, so we invited Fran over to Osaka. At that time, Fran had just finished Blue Note recording studio and Sony recording studio.
Les conté que Fran era carpintero, pero no les conté que flasheaba construyendo estudios de grabación. Bueno, construyó el estudio de rap de Sony Music en un edificio de 5 pisos que la empresa tenía en Nueva York.
Yeah, so we invited him. He was able to follow my drawing, and I had a career as architect designer. So I designed the whole space myself, the wall, the ceiling, the floor, and also the recording studio requires a door, soundproof door, which would cost no less than $10,000 a piece. And we needed 6 doors. So I designed the door myself, and I asked Fran, if I design the door, can you build the door? He's never done it, but he said, yes, I can do it. Anyway, let me show. This is my sanctuary, the Fran's sanctuary. And this is the door. This is the sample of the door.
Look at this.
Let me show it to
Now.
you. That's Fran's ashes. Now, see here.
Okay.
That's how thick the soundproof door was, and that's how it shuts.
Wow.
So from this side, can you read?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Japan Overseas Studio. Oh, there is Fran with this T-shirt.
Yes, that T-shirt, yes.
Yo quería destacar un último trabajo de Fran, que es su proyecto como artista country llamado Brent Archer and the Bull's Eyes. El disco Gone on Vacation, Back on Probation es un discazo. Lo amé.
And when you feel like you've been turned down.
One of Fran's last musical projects was the Incredible Orchestra.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask you about this screenshot that you found on Fran's iPad. It's a chat with a musician named Bob.
Bob, yes, Bob.
There, Fran tells him that he's preparing a new compilation of artists, and he wants the Incredible Orchestra to perform one song in particular. Textually, Fran says, I had to learn the song by a very famous Argentine musician. He stole some of my artwork So I'm stealing his song. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And he shares the video where I play She's Just a Woman, the song by Charly Garcia.
Yes.
Okay. What I want to know is, did Fran ever play Charlie's song? I mean, did you ever hear
never.
him play it?
No, never. He never played Charlie's song. No.
Okay.
I never saw him practice it or play it or tried to play it. No, he never did.
El solo hecho de saber que en algún momento de su vida proyectó tocar una canción de García, para mí, el gesto vale toda esta historia. Porque siento que lo hizo por su amigo argentino. Y eso me honra profundamente. Así que, Fran, eternamente gracias.
Ahora sí, les comentamos que la esquina de Walker y Cortland, nuestro soñado Abbey Road en tierras foráneas, sería declarada en un acto formal Sitio Cultural Argentino, con consulado y embajada de por medio. Gestión MC, los superpoderes de MC. La fecha acordada sería el domingo 5 de noviembre de 2023, para el 40º aniversario del lanzamiento de Clix modernos.
Joey se despidió de nosotros contándonos una curiosa historia sobre el asombroso círculo de la vida. Miren este libro, The Avant-Gardes in New York, Las Vanguardias en Nueva York. Este libro fue publicado en el año 1986. Su autor es un fotógrafo japonés llamado Seiichi Tanaka. Pero voy a dejar que Joey cuente esta historia.
Seiichi Tanaka was a very successful commercial photographer based in Osaka, where I was born. He was renting an office space from my mother's building. So, each other since I was a little child, you know. And he heard I was in New York going to college. He contacted, when I went back to Japan during summer vacation, he told me he's been a commercial all his life, but he wanted to do some art project. And he said, "You're living in New York. I want to do something in New York." So I said, "Okay, well, let's do something together then." He was very interested in connecting with artists in New York, you know, because artists in New York are always, for him, in the front line or something. So we talked, and he wanted to include Blondie and Andy Warhol in the book. So I said, okay, and I researched about the art scene then. So basically, except for Blondie and Andy Warhol, you know, most of the artists I chose. So I made the list of avant-garde artists, and one of them was Richard Hambleton. So, yeah, and it wasn't until I saw your episode that Richard Hambleton came up, and his face, you showed his face. And then when I saw his face, I thought, I've met him before. He was in one of the avant-garde artists, you know, he didn't hit me until you created that YouTube video. And I was so Oh my God, this is creating the full circle. It's coming back.
It's incredible. The perfect circle of life. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. I'm gonna go to I tried to find more photographs of me and Richard Hambleton together. I haven't found the box yet, but I have another. I know there are many photographs in the house, in the other house where my
going to leave you now. They are waiting for me at the temple. I have to give the final sermon.
Today?
Today.
Oh.
Hermanas, hermanos, yo les puedo hablar de los milagros, porque la gracia del Señor me concedió uno. ¿Cuándo? Anoche. Tenía frío, estaba cansado, debería haber parado por la noche cuando de pronto en mi pantalla sucedió el milagro. Fue un camino a Damasco en la luz del alba cuando vi a Jesús en internet anoche. Porque todavía se mueve de formas misteriosas. Se compró sandalias nuevas en eBay. Sí. Búsquenlo. Lo van a encontrar. En Facebook. Hijo único de Dios. Él me dijo que la web fue enviada del cielo. Así que todos ustedes, santos y pecadores, mejor mantengan la fe. Dirijan sus oraciones al ciberespacio porque anoche vi a Jesús en internet.
I was cold, I was tired, I should stop for the night. But out of my screen I got a hell of a fright. It was a road to Damascus. In the morning light I saw Jesus on the internet last night. 'Cause he still moves in mysterious ways. Got some new sense from eBay. Told me everything was gonna be okay. Saw Jesus on the internet last night. So all you saints and sinners better keep the faith. You may have been looking in the wrong place. Direct your prayers up to cyberspace. I saw Jesus on the internet last night. When God was all around me, such what he meant. Don't listen to the man who would be president. He told me the web was heaven sent. I saw Jesus on the internet last night. Yeah, 'cause we still lose in mysterious ways. Got him some new ships from eBay. Second uncommon was on its way. I saw Jesus on the internet last night. He said the chat rooms have been a lot of fun. Goes by the nickname of God's only son. But surely I couldn't have been the only one who saw Jesus on the internet last night. 'Cause he still moves in mysterious ways. Got him some new sets from eBay. But somebody hacked in his MySpace page. Saw Jesus on the internet last night. So all you saints and sinners better keep the faith. You may have been looking in the wrong place. So cast your prayers up to cyberspace. I saw Jesus on the internet last night. You know he's still got a soft spot for the human race. He's getting heaven ready for us in cyberspace. Well, I'm backing up my hard drive just in case. I saw Jesus on the internet last night.
Esperamos que los fieles de este canal hayan iluminado sus melancólicas almas.
Jesus on the internet. internet last night.
Hasta la próxima, hermanos.
Jesus on internet last night. Jesus on internet last night.